I'm Black Chestnut, and with me I have Ricola,
Hello.
and you're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Starfield, um, the trailer
Spec-
presentation for it.
Yeah, Todd Howard's big extravaganza.
Yeah, if you're
That was
listening to
that.
this into the future when the game has released, please note that this is our thoughts on it before the game releases.
That sounds ominous.
yeah,
Covered your bases in case it's
yeah,
like the worst thing ever made.
yeah. Before we actually talk about the game, though, I feel like it's probably a good idea to talk about how we feel about Bethesda overall before we cover it, just so people know like where our biases come in, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm not a big Bethesda guy. I've tried like Fallout 3 and Oblivion, and I just didn't care for them very much. I got like 15 hours in and just got bored. I don't have like hatred for Bethesda, but I also don't love them. I kind of just am ambivalent to Bethesda. So that's kind of my
Yeah.
opinion on them as developers. So I
Um.
don't really have any stakes in this, as I don't particularly plan on getting Starfield.
Yeah.
At least me. But what about you, Ricola?
Love me some Bethesda games. I was just playing Fallout 4 earlier this year. Played. I lost count of how much time I have in Skyrim. And some of their older stuff's nice. Morrowind, all that. It's good.
Yeah,
I like Bethesda.
yeah.
they're they're
So
unique. I feel like in terms of kind of Western RPGs and just open world games in general. Like there's somewhere between like open world and more serious RPG. I feel like that's a nice balance they get to.
yep, I can agree on that in the sense that they're definitely unique. The only other developers that like them are kind of like Oblivion, you know.
Yeah, who made Fallout New Vegas.
Yep.
um,
So yeah, so Ricola likes Bethesda and plays all their games, and I don't care for them at all.
I
In
haven't
the
played
sense that I don't
Fallout
care about them.
76. I'll give that disclaimer.
Yes. So with that out of the way, now you got an idea of where we're coming from. Where I don't care, and Ricola does enjoy their games. So take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And so I guess we can start talking about Starfield now.
Yeah. Space.
It's Fallout in space.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And um yeah, where do I start? Yeah, where do
There's
we
a lot to
start?
start with. Do you want to start with like just a random point, like the ships?
Sure. Well, the freaking customization on the ships is like nonsense. You
Yes,
just
it
make
reminded me of like the gummy ship stuff in Kingdom Hearts, and how
yeah,
you
in terms
can
of how
make
it's
them weird
assembled.
geometrical shapes that make no logical sense.
Mm.
Point is, we're going to be seeing a lot of penis ships, on the
It's gonna
internet.
be your entire Twitter timeline the week this comes out.
Yeah, somebody's going to make the ship from Spaceballs, the really long one that the villains have.
That would. Oh no! Make the maid at the end of Spaceballs.
Yeah, that too.
suck, suck,
suck,
suck.
suck.
This is cool as shit, though. Just the amount of customization and stuff with the spaceships, because,
Mhm.
like, I mean, I'm trying to think of another game that has like this stuff. Like, yeah, there's gummy ships, but that's
That's
just you
just
can.
for a little Star Fox minigame in a bigger action RPG, you know?
Yeah. Not to mention, no matter how much you customize them, they don't really look like ships. They look like shapes.
They look like Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Not to mention it affecting the inside of your ship and all the stats and stuff. Just like, geez, the amount of like variables that probably go into it.
Yeah.
I mean, ship combat in general, I'm actually like was just kind of oh, that's a thing that exists. But after seeing it, and they're showing like it's pretty much FTL's space combat, where you can like redirect power to stuff,
Right.
like to different systems and all that. Like, awesome. That sounds really fun.
Hmm.
Like FTL was an entire game out of that. Now it's just so that proved that it worked there. So I like seeing that here.
Yeah. Yeah. The ship combat does look cool.
And you could be a pirate with your ships. You just board people,
Yeah.
which I was. Which okay, good. So I could just get like an eye patch and just do a pirate playthrough.
Yeah. Be space pirates.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah. I'm just gonna be Ridley. I'm just gonna make like a
I was
pterodactyl
thinking
thing.
of the one space pirate from that one light gun game, the one that says "Winners don't do drugs."
Ooh, yeah, he'd be good.
Yeah. You'd go and steal all of the alien space drugs.
Ooh, oh yeah, this game. I bet this game does totally have drugs. I don't know if did they show. I don't think they showed that at all, but this totally does, right?
Yeah, I would be surprised if it doesn't have space drugs, and you can steal all of the space drugs and then destroy them and tell them that the winners don't do drugs.
I can't wait. Um. Wow. So yeah, so space combat looks sick.
Hmm.
Trying to think what
They
next.
brought back the annoying guy from Oblivion.
Oh yeah, the adoring fan. I forget. Oh well, I didn't forget, but I wasn't sure when we were gonna bring him up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up seeing him with like actual graphics.
Yeah, with like a lighting engine that actually works.
Yeah, in a face that's not made out of potatoes.
Everyone in Oblivion looks so goofy.
It's so bad. I mean, for 2006, I'll cut it some slack, but also, ugh.
Yeah.
the, the NPCs in this game don't look horribly uncanny yet. I mean, maybe they'll. I don't. Bethesda's never been great at faces.
Yeah.
Like, even by like Skyrim, where they've got their engine actually looks realistic, everyone's still just kind of ugly.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
But
true. I think a big part of that is how they present the graphics. Because they
yeah,
always, for all the dialogue sequences, they always do close ups on the people's faces. And so you get a nice, good look at how shitty they look.
yeah.
Whereas in
Skyrim's the
other
one that doesn't do
games,
that.
like the Souls games, they just keep the camera
Zoomed
where,
way out, so you
you
don't get to
know,
see everyone's too poly faces.
yeah, it's like it's hard to zoom in on somebody's face.
Oh yeah.
So, and plus they're usually wearing like a helmet. So you
Yeah.
don't really get the good look at how ugly everybody looks. So you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Even though like graphically they're pretty equivalent.
Yeah. I think in Oblivion, they really were banking on it. In 2006, they were like, "Oh, this is gonna blow people away," and
To be fair, it definitely did blow people away
it
in
did.
2006.
Twilight Princess was that same year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, like the other big Western RPGs at the time that were releasing were like what, Two Worlds, which
okay,
has
yeah.
combat that's even worse than
Oh,
Oblivion's combat, which is saying a
yeah.
lot. Oblivion's combat is basically like two strings, welded together.
Yeah, Oblivion's combat is,
It's not its strong suit.
yeah. Bethesda combat in general has always been kind of jank, except for Fallout 4, which is pretty good because I know they got assistance from id because they're
Yeah.
id's owned by Bethesda straight up now, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think it is. So, and I know id's working on the combat in Starfield as well, so I have faith in that.
Yeah.
The gunplay will be fun.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where because it's so heavy on all the other RPG elements, the combat ultimately takes a bit of a backseat because you can't focus on being a good, action game
Oh yeah,
while doing all these crazy RPG things at the same time.
Morrowind especially, where it's like that one has the ability to miss your attacks.
Yes, just like in
So it
TF2.
just your conspiracy theory of random dodge chance.
It's totally, it is an objectively true mechanic. Whether or not it's intentional, it's factually proven to be true. The hitboxes straight up don't work half the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
random dodge
especially with melee,
chance. Yeah.
source melee. It's just a gun. I think it's just a gun with like a ridiculously short range, so it could be blocked by anything. So
Yeah.
that's why it misses. It's nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like when I think of Oblivion combat, the only game I can really like think of like to equate it to is like Hide Lied on the NES.
Where you just bump into people.
Yeah.
That's Ys combat, and Ys is really fun. That's like a really good JRPG that has that bump into people combat.
Hmm. Does that count as an action game? I think that counts as an action game. If it's real time melee combat, it's action.
It's real time action, but it's old enough to sort of be like foundational JRPGs thing. So
I don't think anything is a JRPG until Dragon Quest.
oh, this was post Dragon Quest, but I think it was like,
Well, then it wasn't a JRPG, obviously.
but it's like pre Final Fantasy IV, so it's complicated.
Look, man, if it's like Dragon Quest, it's a JRPG. If it's not like Dragon Quest, it's probably not a JRPG. That's how I go by.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
RPGs, it's a silly genre name because
RPGs
there's not
just
a lot of
means
role
there's
playing going on.
numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like most RPGs don't actually take the role playing aspect of it, they just take the mechanical aspects of it.
Yeah.
Because they're all derivative of tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
Western
Which,
RPGs like Bethesda's though are actually some of the few that actually do try to incorporate a lot of more RPing into it.
yeah, with actual dialogue that's actually based on stats and such.
Yeah. And
And,
the RPing part of most of Bethesda's games I feel like is, pretty strong.
yeah, with the exception of like Fallout 4, where they did this sort of experiment of having a voiced protagonist,
Yeah.
which works for like sometimes like for like the main quest, but otherwise
It's
it feels limiting on like your
yeah.
second playthrough where it's like I want to play as like a totally different person,
Yeah,
but they have the same voice and everything, and it's like
yeah, it's a double-edged sword where sometimes it will make things better and sometimes it will make things worse.
yeah,
You know, because if the voice lines up close enough to what you imagine in your head and how you want to say it, then it works
yeah,
really well and it adds a ton of immersion. If it doesn't, it's hugely immersive breaking. So it is a massive double-edged sword in that sense that sometimes this will be great and sometimes this will be straight up terrible. And
yeah. Like
yeah,
Fallout 4, if you want to play like a raider or like a real asshole, that's like impossible. Like everything that comes out of your mouth will sound like just a real nice guy.
yeah. I
It's
remember I started like a playthrough of Fallout 4 at your place one time.
yeah.
And I just made my character look like a cartoon villain, named him Sir, and then put all my stats into charisma and just played him as the nicest guy possible.
Yeah, he just had like a goatee and like a scar over his eye.
Yeah, it's
He was
like
just a
he
real
had like
nice
a
guy.
goatee and an evil mustache.
He was just chill. It's
Yeah.
great.
I named him Sir.
So that's one of the names that Codsworth can call you.
Yeah.
Which I think they're including it here. I think they have names that you could characters will say out loud, which I'm looking forward to, having
Yeah,
a
that
stupid
was
name.
like the best feature they added to Fallout 4 for sure, was the names being able to be read
Yeah,
out loud.
that's like such a little thing, but it goes a long way.
I don't think it was a little thing. I think that's a huge thing. Like the amount of time and
Oh, a
effort would
huge
have
thing,
to
yeah, I
be
guess. Yeah,
go
that
into
core
putting that
Cosmo
in,
factor.
you know? It's like
No, yeah.
what they like how did they do that? Did they have dialogue trees and they just synced it up really well, or did they re-record each line for all 100 plus names they put in the list?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because it doesn't sound like it just edited in, but it probably is.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
cause
like
just
I think that's like genuinely super impressive. Like
oh,
overall,
it
that's
is, yeah.
probably one of the most impressive things Bethesda has ever done. And that's saying a lot because they do make such massive games with such massive open worlds with such like enveloping RPG mechanics, you know?
Oh, yeah. I think people rightfully cloud on Bethesda, but I think people kind of underappreciate just how stupidly detailed they've been that their
Yeah.
games are.
I mean, they're not
Like,
perfect, you know,
oh
because
yeah, they're
they're
janky as hell.
usually, you know, somewhat buggy at times, but when you factor in how big of a game it is and how many different, you know, things are going in
I mean,
systems in them,
there's no other game
you
where you
know.
can pick up a spoon off the ground and like balance them on top of an enemy's head.
Yeah.
Like it's just stupid how much
Yeah.
like down to every rock detail there is.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of reasonable to expect some level of bugginess with the scope of the games, you know.
Oh yeah.
And they're never to like, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 launch level bad, you know.
76 was pretty bad at launch, but I cut him some slack for that. I know that because that one was
I mean, besides that one,
yeah that
that
that one
one
is
I'm not even
clearly more
counting compared to like their other RPGs. That one's less like that
that was
one's
gonna be
literally
low.
them trying to scam people out of money. Like that was them
Yeah,
straight up being unethical, trying to release a fucking scam product,
yeah. I hear
right?
after all the expansions, it's pretty solid actually, but
Like
because
if
they've
you
fixed
hate
so much
Bethesda for Fallout 76, that is super valid.
stuff. Yeah.
Especially with the bullshit they did with the collector's edition for that game. Super valid to
What did
just
they do with the
hate
collector's edition of
Bethesda.
that one?
They
I don't remember that.
advertised the bag would be canvas and they sent them nylon bags.
Oof.
Yeah, my sister bought the collector's edition.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
and I don't think they ever actually gave her a canvas bag
Is that as
ever.
bad as
Yeah.
the worst collector's edition? Excuse me. Is the
The
Marvel vs.
Infinity
Capcom?
War
Yes,
eggs.
Marvel vs.
Yeah.
Capcom Infinite. They were like, oh, you get Infinity Gems with the collector's edition, and it was like plastic
Plastic.
Easter eggs.
Yeah. That
It was like
glow. It was so they didn't come out of the case. Yeah, those were
it was like a
terrible.
cheap LED. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I also like the Resident Evil 7 Collector's Edition where it was supposed to be a USB drive that was like a finger, but it just
Yeah.
looks like a turd.
There's a lot of shitty collector's editions out there. That's why
Trying
I'm
to
so
make up
hesitant
for
to
it
ever
with
get
this,
one.
with Starfield, I guess, with like the most expensive thing on the planet, the fucking like watch.
Yeah, they like with the collector's edition of Starfield. Since we're talking about it, we might as well bring
Yeah.
Star talk about it. They have a cool case, and they have
Mm-hmm.
this watch that's based off of the HUD of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a smartwatch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you
It looks
anything
sick.
that that watch is gonna just be made out of fucking plastic and be shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it looks cool in their promotional thing where they have the real one that's not actually going to be sent out to you.
Okay, I think this collector's edition is $750 or something now. So
Yeah, they better send me a real fucking Rolex for that.
I actually liked Fallout 4's gimmick for the collector's one, where it came with a Pip Boy that you could slide your phone into, and then you could get an app where you could just use that as your HUD.
That was
Like,
cool.
yeah, I've used that. I've actually gotten the app. I don't have the Pip Boy that you can strap to your arm, sadly, but the app is really fun to use, where you can just actually, manage your inventory and map.
Yeah. I have a lot of family members who are big Fallout fans, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and also the Collector's Edition. There's also Xbox controller. because they have to show that off. It looks pretty sick, I'll be honest.
Right. Because it's an Xbox console exclusive.
Yeah. I'm buying it on PC. Screw that.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have
Of
an
course you get it on
Xbox.
PC. Why would you ever buy this on Xbox? Like, then you can't download any of the awesome mods that actually make the game fun.
I know.
Yeah. Like, honestly, my opinion on this game is that it's probably going to be mildly buggy at launch, and those bugs will probably never get fixed.
Yeah.
But there'll be a bunch of mods that will fix most of those bugs.
Pretty much. That's
Yeah.
the go-to. That's how most Bethesda games go.
Yeah. I know this is going back to something we were talking about earlier, but I never got to talk about it. But like the NPCs in this game and stuff. It seems that they're only going to be human NPCs.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be any intelligent aliens to interact with.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I would not be surprised if there is a planet out there somewhere with like intelligent aliens that have like a quest line and stuff.
Yeah, but I imagine they're going to be like gray aliens, and it's going to be a secret quest line, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, they're kind of going for a pretty sort of grounded setting. I feel like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if there was at least one other intelligent alien race, just one, and then there was like a warring factions between them and the humans, I think that could be interesting.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, it's weird. Not a lot of big sci-fi actually does like just no aliens. I mean, like we have like unintelligent aliens. There's like animals and stuff, clearly.
Yeah, yeah, because we did see, you know, like the alien animals and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
that's an entirely one of the classes is chef, or you are a master chef of aliens, where you just you're really good at cooking aliens. I'm hoping we get a quest where a xenomorph shows up on your spaceship and tries to kill you. I'm hoping that
will definitely be modded in. There's no way that people aren't going to add aliens mods, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, mods for this are just going to be nonsense, like, just in terms of how much shit you could already do.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the mod that adds Orbeon from WarioWare.
The gray and the UFO.
Yeah.
With the nunchuck levels and smooth moves. That's what they're most well known for, of course.
Yeah. I mean, most of his other micro games were like math-based. Yeah, to do quick maths.
Oh, yeah, DIY had that. I think one of them had a calculator and it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, to do quick maths. There's one WarioWare game where he turned into a girl.
Huh?
There was one WarioWare game where he turned into a girl.
Oh, well, there was only one.
Yeah,
Orbulon.
Yeah,
I didn't know Orbulon's gender. I was just kind of like,
oh yeah, they're like a non-binary alien trope.
Okay, I wasn't sure which.
Yeah, they go. They're the non-binary alien trope.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that trope where it's like just aliens that are non-binary.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like Rin from Catherine.
Was Rin an alien? Was that the twist?
that was the twist. They were an alien.
Okay. Everyone knew that. Everyone was just really worried the twist was going to be something like really transphobic.
Oh, so no, the twist is that they're a dude.
Okay.
But then they're also an alien.
So is it? So does that make it better or worse?
Look, man, they did it to add a gay root in. It's not that complicated.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, the SRB leaked that Starfield will have sex.
Okay, but can I sex the aliens? That's the only important question.
I don't know.
There are no aliens because they didn't put them in.
Oh. No, that doesn't rule anything out.
Yeah.
I mean, Fallout New Vegas, you could sex a robot named Fisto, so sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I am still slightly worried about just going to like 1,000 planets, and will there be interesting quests on them? Like, that
I
is like
think most of them are like procedurally generated.
I think they're doing a sort of how they did Daggerfall back in the day, where they're procedurally generating it themselves, like in house, and then kind of
Yes.
polishing it up.
Yeah, I
Like
think
so,
that's what they're doing, is where they're procedurally generating the planets and the universe, or well, the galaxy, because it's just a
yeah.
galaxy. It's not a universe because that's too much. Um,
We only have like 1,000 solar systems.
yeah. Um, and then they're going
Um,
over the already procedurally generated stuff and putting handmade stuff in it, effectively.
yeah. So yeah, you could do stuff like they had like abandoned mines, like pirate bases, all that stuff you could run into.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think a lot the sort of more just random quests are going to have to do a lot of legwork. Just like quests you could just run into on any planet. Like those are going to have
Yeah.
to do a lot of legwork to be interesting.
Uh,
Stuff like I don't know, bad guys show up, and then you get I don't know, moral dilemma to do you want to join the bad guys or not? Stuff like that. Just
yeah.
shit
You're
like
gonna
that.
join the Federation of Space Cowboys.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's space cowboys in this game.
See you later, Space Cowboy.
We got some for everything. Fun.
Yeah.
Will this game have bootleg lightsabers? I wonder.
Oh yeah, dude, everybody, everybody's gonna be playing this game and RPing as Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, they will. That is what
Yeah,
everyone's going to be doing.
yeah,
Bounty Hunter was one of the backgrounds you could pick.
yeah. It's literally the equivalent of playing as Guts in Dark Souls.
I really like how they did like the backgrounds and stuff because character creation is super fun,
Hmm.
of course. But it is really cool seeing like it actually affecting like dialogue and quests.
Yeah,
Like that's cool as shit. Like I could like be like I said earlier, like chef's one of them. So there's probably be like a quest where I gotta like cook shit for somebody. That'll
yeah,
be that'll be a quest because I picked
yeah.
chef. Awesome.
You know what's gonna be awesome?
Huh.
When you fly into a black hole
Hmm.
and then it transitions into you waking up in a cart in Skyrim.
They just put the entirety of Skyrim in this game as well. That would
Yeah.
be
You fly into a black hole, the screen goes black, and then it goes into Skyrim opening.
finally awake.
But you just play as your Starfield character in Skyrim with all your space guns and shit.
That make you more or less powerful. I mean, having a gun is a big deal, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but what if one of the planets is just Elder Scrolls?
They just stuck the entirety of Tamriel in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, their planet's called Nirn because Elder Scrolls lore is goofy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the secret Elder Scrolls 6. It's finally here.
Yeah, it's gonna be like set in like the way future, but the typography is gonna be the same.
Okay, but they're not going to tell anybody. It's
Yeah.
just there's going to be hints that it's
Yeah.
that would actually be a pretty good. That'd be a good gag.
Yeah.
They don't say what's up with Earth, by the way, in any of this. By the way, I don't know what happened to Earth in this lore.
You're probably just gonna have to find that out for yourself when you play the game.
Of course, Mars is there. They showed Mars.
Yeah. I'm sure you can go to Earth. There's probably a bunch of stuff there.
Oh yeah, probably like it's probably like Cowboy Bebop, where it's just like a shithole now.
Yeah. I would imagine that they would put a lot of content on Earth.
Oh yeah, that's the important one. But we got New Atlantis or something as the big main city.
Yeah. How much you want to bet that there's going to be a quest where you can flood the city?
Where you can what?
flood it.
Or you can flood New Atlantis.
Yeah, and make it sink into the ocean.
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
obvious, but they gotta.
I mean, like, in Fallout 3, you can nuke the one city, you know?
Why would anyone choose to do that, by the way?
Because they're evil.
Evil.
It's like that one girl in the trailer. It's like, I don't want to play the good guy. I want to be the bad guy. I want to steal other people's sandwiches and then put them in my sandwich room that I have only for sandwiches.
They understand how people play these games.
Yes.
But that's actually very good to know that it doesn't despawn my shit that I set on the ground in my spaceship. So I can make like a house of cards out of sandwiches. That is very good to know.
Yeah.
Also, hopefully that's also true for the outpost, so I can actually like decorate my room in an outpost.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to spend way too much time with because Fallout 4 had the settlement building, which I think is the majority of my playtime in Fallout 4.
Yeah. I mean, that was a huge part of the game. You know, they wanted you to spend that much time in there.
Yeah. It's like post-apocalyptic SimCity. It was great. Will anyone pick the trait to have the adoring fan, though? Like, will anyone?
I mean, there's going to be people who pick it just so they can kill the adoring fan.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, people will pick the adoring fan trait.
Yeah.
Because he's funny. Donkey will pick it and then make a video about it.
Where he kills him like throughout the video in increasingly goofy ways. Like I could just see the video in my head. Like,
yeah. He keeps killing him and then reloading the save, but he edits out the part where he reloads the save and he just pretends like he keeps coming back to life.
Yes. Okay. I can just see the video in my head.
Yeah.
I really like the traits. They look really fun. Like the one where it's you can go visit your parents, but you have to send them 10% of all of your income in game.
Yeah.
There's one where you get a free house on a moon, but you're 50k in debt for it.
The Animal Crossing playstyle.
Yes. Or just Wanted, where people just come to try and arrest you. It's awesome.
I mean, that's a great deal. It's like, okay, we're gonna give you a free house on the moon for 50k, and then you just have to pay off a 0 interest loan. Like, come on.
Yeah, 0 interest loan of 50k ain't bad.
Yeah, like, come on.
Nah, they're gonna like have like special debt collector enemies. They're gonna like be trying to assassinate you throughout the game. You know, is this what the game that people thought No Man's Sky was gonna be?
You know, I kind of think it is the game that people thought No Man's Sky was gonna be.
Because like I saw people like complaining like, oh, there's nothing to do. It's just, but this is like, okay, we got all that No Man's Sky exploring, but now you can actually like shoot people.
Yeah, there's actually people to talk to.
Yeah,
you know.
That game was a victim of its own hype. Like, I don't think people are like so mad, like, oh, they lied, and it's like, not really. Not any more than most pre-release stuff. Like, stuff got
I don't even like. I think people imagined the game in their head, which was not what the game was being advertised as.
Yeah, it's not.
They saw the trailers and then imagined a game that didn't exist.
Yeah,
I remember seeing those trailers and thinking, well, that looks neat. But it also looks boring as hell. You know, I like immediately called the game what it was upon seeing the first trailer of, well, that looks okay, but it's just a bunch of pre-generated space game where you explore a bunch of pre-generated space.
Yeah, you explore and you mine, and just that gameplay loop of you mine, you get better stuff to mine more, and you explore more. That's it.
Yeah,
like, it's not a sandbox. It's just an open world mining game.
Yeah, I knew immediately that that game was gonna be pretty boring.
I'm glad it's kind of found its audience, but it was it's kind of sad that like it was.
I mean, after they updated the game and added tons of content for people
Yeah,
to
but
do
I mean, at its
things.
core, it's
Yeah.
still that same. It's not the game people expected, even after all that content.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Starfield will actually let you go mining and then get on your spaceship and I don't know,
Yeah,
get
the big
arrested.
difference between this and Starfield is Starfield's going to release in a similarly, not great state. Not as bad,
Yes,
but then instead of getting fixed with years of updates, it's going to get fixed with years of modding support.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Bethesda isn't actually going to fix shit post launch.
I give it credit. They straight up did like 76 is a totally functional game now, which is shocking. Like that game has gameplay now
Yeah,
and
after they
NPCs
added,
even.
tons of content that should have been at launch.
Exactly. I cut him some like Todd Howard was like barely even involved in 76. Like he was only executive producer instead of like
Yeah,
director and shit.
76
That was a let's
a
just throw that
scaling
was like a
game.
cash grab. That game, fuck that
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 76 was a huge fuck you.
game. No. Hmm. Hopefully, Starfield isn't too buggy and a mess because they've been working on this like forever. Like I think this has been in development for like I think it's been like 10 years. I think they entered early development like 2013 or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is the question. It's like, okay, is it gonna be like Skyrim launch buggy, or is it gonna be Cyberpunk launch buggy? That's the
Yeah.
real question.
It's
Is it gonna
worrying.
be good but buggy, or is it gonna be dog shit and very, very buggy?
Yeah, like where cows fall from the sky during dramatic scenes, Buggy.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite 27 clip.
I mean, this game won't even have the shrimp lady to save it.
No, no. Hate to see Cyberpunk just got an expansion that reworks the entire game, like from the
I heard
ground up.
about that. Yeah, there was a
Even like
trailer for it.
even the entire like skill system's redone.
Whoa.
What have we missed? Have we missed anything to talk about in Starfield? I'm trying to think.
We talked about the NPCs.
Oh, I didn't really talk about the skills system at all.
We
Where
talked
it's
about
kind
that a
of
little bit, but we can talk about it
yeah.
some more. What do you want to
I
say about
don't
it?
I don't know how I feel about it. Really? It's a
Hmm.
decent amount of perks, but there is the worry that it could end up feeling too simple.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's be real here. Just go
Mm.
all into melee and then just role play as a Dragon Ball Z character.
Like a jetpack in space.
Yeah, just do it. Just punch things.
Okay. Punching is not as going to be as fun as Fallout because this game doesn't have gratuitous gore like Fallout, where people's heads go flying off and they explode. It's the most useless perk, but bloody mess. You got to get it in every Fallout game where there's like a 5% chance they just explode when you attack someone.
Yeah.
But this has the ability to have psychic control over aliens, so why not?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
there's companions who will be new annoying one. I hope. I wonder. I mean,
Yeah.
no one in this direct. None of the companions stood out as horribly annoying to me, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And yeah, brought up the outpost. Try to think of anything we missed.
Hmm.
I don't know. This game's gonna require an SSD on PC, by the way, because it's the future.
It's the future. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart doesn't require an SSD on PC.
Huh. I'm interested to see that in action. Like trying to
Yeah.
play that game without one.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think we talked about like pretty much most of it. Like Starfield has been a game where I'm like, oh, I'm excited to play it. This direct kind of cemented it as okay, I really want to play it. I'm excited. Like,
Yeah, it definitely, the
hooray.
direct itself definitely looked a lot better than the last time they showed it off.
Yeah,
However,
last time we just saw like a moon.
yeah, though we gotta factor in that the last time honestly looked pretty shit.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm factoring in. It's like the combat from the last time looked pretty bad.
I I know that they have been polishing up the combat. That's been I apparently like rumors that's been one of their main things, like in terms of polish lately. Like they brought on id.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that was like it's more fair to judge it based on the newest trailer and not the oldest. So yeah.
I don't know why they do like for gameplay reveal trailer just started out like this ugly gray planet because we this direct showed some pretty gorgeous looking planets. Like there's some nice color in some of them, but like
Yeah.
the reveal we just saw like rocks. Which yeah, I want some planets like that, but don't open with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say on it.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah, so that's our thoughts on Starfield. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you would leave a like and subscribe, it'd mean a lot. Um, uh, until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.